All right, this is lesson 3.5 called Algebraic Proofs. And one of the big fears students have in geometry is proofs. They're just difficult to do. And so what we try and do is show you something you're familiar with doing to try and help you with the structure of a proof. And so that's why we're doing algebraic proofs here. We're really just going to solve some equations. But in solving the equations, we're going to take a step-by-step approach, as we always do, but we're going to list why we took the step that we did, okay, when we solve the equation, whether it be addition or subtraction or substitution or whatever it is. We're going to write down that step or that reason for that step as we do the steps of that solving, okay? So hopefully you take something familiar, we apply something new to it, and it makes it a little easier. That's the whole goal here. So I can write a 2-column algebraic proof. Well, eventually we're going to do 2-column geometric proofs, and that's what we want you to learn here, okay? So what is a proof? A proof is simply a logical process that's going to link a given set of information with some conclusion. And we've got to draw the links between those two things, the information and the conclusion, using definitions or properties or theorems or postulates. These are all things that we're going to develop in geometry, and we'll be using those to link together something given with something we're trying to conclude. Okay, that's going to be the whole key. All right. So for right now, what we're doing is we're just proving that a value is a solution to an equation. So if this equation exists, then this is its solution. X would equal 18, negative 18. That's what we're doing. So I'm just going to teach you this little 2-column proof method to do things, to write things down, okay? So that's one of the keys, is just knowing the process. And then we can focus a little more on trying to figure out exactly how to link the things together. So what you're going to have with a 2-column proof method is a list of statements and then a list of reasons why we took that particular step, okay? And the very first statement in every proof you will do will just be the if portion that you were given. So I was given this equation. So the very first statement is always what you're given. That's the hypothesis. Okay. And your very first reason is always going to be just the fact that it is given to you. You're going to write given there. Okay. And then this is our conclusion. We're trying to link these two together logically, right? Well, to logically link them together, I'm just going to solve that equation. Well, what are you going to do with the left side here? Well, I need to distribute my negative 5. So I'm going to go negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And negative 5 times positive 4 is a negative 20. And I'm just going to bring down my 70. And what did I just do? I just used distribution. Okay? So instead of simply solving it, you're telling what you did along the way. So the next thing I'm going to do, well, I've got to get this x by itself. I got a negative 5 times x, and I got a minus 20. Well, you know to move the minus 20 first by adding 20 to both sides. So I'm going to go with negative 5x equals 90. Because if I add 20 to 70, I get 90. Okay? And so what did I just do? I added something. So I used addition. And then the next step to solve this equation is I've got to get rid of my negative 5, so I'm going to divide. Now I'm not going to show my step. I'm just going to say the step, and then I'm going to do the division. 90 divided by 5. Negative 5 is negative 18. And I just divided. Okay, or used division. Now, what you need to understand is the very last statement is going to be your conclusion. You've got to somehow conclude what they asked you to conclude. Right there. X is negative 18. Okay? This one is always your hype. The very first statement. Your hypothesis. Okay? And then the given is always your very first reason. Okay? So for every proof, you ought to be able to fill in at least 3 of these spots. Okay? but I think for equation solving, I think you guys can solve an equation. Let's see another one here. Okay, so you give this a try. We're going to put down statements. And we're going to have reasons. And so statement 1 is just what we're given. And reason 1 is always the word given. Okay, what's the first step? If you kind of ask yourself the first step and then just write down what your answer is, like if you say, what do you do first? Oh, I distribute. Well, guess what? That's going to be your reason. And then you're going to go over here and you're going to actually write the distribution. 2x minus 6, you distributed. Everything else just comes down. Well, now I got to get like terms together. I got to get my 2x over there with my 4x. How's that going to happen? Well, you're going to have to subtract the 2x. So I'm going to subtract 2x from 4x, and it's going to give me 2x. Okay? Now what? Well, now the negative 6 and the negative 9, or the positive 9 need to be on the safe side, right? Because here your x is on the right. So we got to get rid of that positive 9. It's positive, so I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to put subtract. And we're going to subtract 9. Negative 6 minus 9 more is negative 15. Now it looks like I need to divide to get rid of the 2. I'm going to put division. And I'm going to put negative 7.5 equals x. But you know what? My answer doesn't look quite like the hypothesis up here that says x equals negative 7, or excuse me, the conclusion, which says x equals negative 7.5. Well, I need to switch those around. I need to put x equals negative 7.5 so it matches my conclusion up there. And what allows me to switch two things around? Symmetry. Remember, you can switch the order of two things. That's where that symmetry property comes in. Okay. All right, here I gave you the table. Okay. You give it a try and come back and check and see how you did. All right, hopefully that's what you got. Questions? All right, there's a form that you can order the statements and reasons with. So you look at that lesson 3.5 proofs form. You can submit it. If you miss some, go back and submit another answer. You can go back and correct your mistakes, okay, and resubmit that as many times as you want.